أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم وليمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم وليبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا ومن كفر بعد ذلك فأولئك هم الفاسقون. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. The verse of the Holy Quran that I have just recited is a very well-known verse of the Holy Quran, and it is known as Ayat-e-Istikhlaf, or the verse of the Holy Quran which speaks of Khilafat, or successorship. And this is taken from Surah An-Nur, which is chapter 24 of the Holy Quran, and verse 56 is the exact verse that I recited before you. So as you may have gathered, today I would like to speak to you about Khilafat and the blessings of Khilafat. As Ahmadi Muslims, we are extremely fortunate, beyond measure, for this blessing of Allah the Almighty which we have received. As a community, we are the only community, and as individuals, we are the only people in the world who have a Khalifa who leads us. And that Khalifa is appointed by Allah the Almighty. And in that respect, we are the only community in the world which has been blessed by Allah the Almighty to have an institution in our midst which guides us by divine command. And in that respect, we should be very thankful to Allah the Almighty, because the blessings of Khilafat are innumerable, and they simply cannot be explained in a short period of time. But what we will try and do today is remind ourselves of some of the blessings of Khilafat and how Khilafat is relevant to us, the importance of Khilafat, and how Khilafat has a very active, how it is the center of our lives. In this verse of the Holy Quran, Allah the Almighty explains firstly and foremost that it is Allah who appoints the Khalifa. This is why the Holy Quran states, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. That Allah has promised to those among you who believe and do good works that He will surely make them successors in the earth, as He made successors from among those who were before them. And so right from the beginning, we learn from this verse of the Holy Quran that it is not any human being or a committee or a group of people who get together and appoint a Khalifa from their own will or of their own choosing, like we see in worldly democracies and elections in the world around us. This is a divine system. It is an institution which is established by Allah the Almighty, which is why the act of appointing the Khalifa has been attributed to Allah the Almighty in this first section of the Holy Quran. And so right off the bat, we understand how important Khilafat is. Khilafat is not some worldly form of leadership which we can take for granted. This is a system which Allah the Almighty Himself has established. And we know that as for those things which Allah the Almighty Himself does for our spiritual and moral well-being, we should always look towards those things with importance and with great reverence. It is Allah the Almighty who appoints the prophets of God. He appoints His prophets, and they come and they guide mankind. They guide the whole of humanity. And then after the prophet of God, who is a human being, departs this world after living his life, Allah the Almighty has established a system which takes over that important task of guiding the people, and then the Khulafa, the Khalifas, the Caliphs of the Prophet, then continue his work and keep the community one and unified, and leads the community and guides them. And he does so, the Khalifa and the Prophets both, they do that with the express guidance of Allah the Almighty. Then in the next part of the verse, we learn that Khilafat is a system through which Allah the Almighty establishes the religion of believers. وَلَا يُمَكِّنَنَّ لَهُمْ دِينَهُمُ الَّذِي ارْتَضَىٰ لَهُمْ. That through successorship, Allah the Almighty says that He will surely establish for them their religion which He has chosen for them. So Khilafat is a system which our religious and moral training and our salvation hinges upon the system of Khilafat in a way. Because after the Prophet of God has completed his work and he leaves this world, Khilafat comes to then take on that responsibility. And if we attach ourselves to Khilafat, we will be able to progress and improve spiritually and morally, and we will be able to develop a closer relationship with Allah the Almighty. And how is that? Well, firstly and foremost, when we give importance and honor and respect to that man who has been chosen by Allah the Almighty, as mentioned in the first part of the verse, we will automatically develop a closer relationship with Allah the Almighty, because we are acting upon a commandment given to us by God, and that is that we should follow the Khalifa. And secondly, when the Khalifa gives us his words of wisdom and his pearls and guidance, and when we act upon those things, we will be strengthening our faith, and we will be able to act upon religion in a far better manner than before. So this is a constant process of improvement. And the Khalifa, who is guided by Allah the Almighty, knows exactly the dosage of medicine that we need and the kinds of medicine that we need, spiritually and figuratively speaking. So if we act upon the instructions of the Khalifa, then we are bound to attain salvation, because it is the Khalifa of the time who Allah the Almighty has appointed for our spiritual and moral guidance. Then in the next part of the verse, Allah the Almighty says that وَلَا يُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا, that He will, that is Allah, will surely give them in exchange security and peace after their fear. So Khilafat is a system which transforms all of our fears into peace and comfort and tranquility. As far as we are concerned, many of us have these experiences where we are worried, or there's something that is bothering us in our lives, and we write to the Khalifa, or we seek the prayers of the Khalifa when we meet him, and Huzur prays, and those difficulties vanish like they were nothing. And that is also a blessing, which is a huge blessing of Allah the Almighty, which we find in the system of Khilafat. And so if we attach ourselves to the Khalifa, then we will be able to benefit from him, from his prayers. And when we are in difficult times, we will be able to come to him and seek his guidance and his prayers. And as a result of those prayers and as a result of his guidance, our difficulties are removed. And that is something which is truly unparalleled. It is priceless. It is a blessing that we cannot thank Allah the Almighty for enough. Because here we have a man who has a direct relationship with Allah the Almighty. A man who was appointed by God himself, who is the most beloved man of God on earth at this time. And how is it possible that if we attach ourselves to him, if we move to him and seek his assistance and his prayers, he will not pray for us? And how is it that Allah the Almighty will not accept his prayers? So this is the system that Allah the Almighty has established for our salvation. Then in the next part of the verse, Allah the Almighty says, يَعْبُدُونَنِي لَا يُشْرِكُونَ بِي شَيْئًا, that they will worship me and they will not associate anything with me. وَمَنْ كَفَرَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ, and those then whoso is ungrateful after that, they will be the rebellious. That surely Allah the Almighty says that the people who will receive this blessing of Allah the Almighty will be those who associate no partners with me. They only believe in me as God and trust in me and have faith in me and develop a closer bond with me. And as a result of that, they will receive this blessing of Khilafat. And those who are ungrateful, they of course will be the rebellious. That Allah the Almighty says that when I have given you such a huge blessing, how is it that you can be ungrateful? And one form of ungratefulness is by not following the guidance of the Khalifa. Because here Allah the Almighty has given us a beautiful institution through which we can develop a closer relationship with Him. And the Khalifa gives us guidance in order for us to develop a closer relationship with Allah the Almighty. And if we do not follow His guidance, how is it that we can succeed? We really must understand how fortunate we are. We are blessed with, I've said it before and I want to say it again, that we are blessed with a system which is divinely instituted by Allah the Almighty. And it is a system that no one else in the world has. We have Khilafat. And so we should guard Khilafat. We should protect it with our lives. And we should always strive to follow all of the instructions of the Khalifa so that we can truly develop a closer relationship with Allah the Almighty and seek His pleasure. And at the end of the day, it's we who will benefit if we follow the guidance of the Khalifa. The Khalifa has no personal interest in guiding us, in bringing us to the right path. He does so only because of his sincere and unconditional, selfless love which he has for us and for his community. So why should we not follow in the footsteps of the Khalifa and do what he says? Often when I hear modern day issues being discussed in the news or on the radio, I've heard many a times analysts will come and present their views on certain issues and how to resolve those issues in society, moral issues, issues with the youth, all sorts of issues. And often when I'm listening to those analysts speak to each other about their expert perspective on how we can improve the state of the youth and get rid of other difficulties and challenges in society, and how we can reduce crime and other things like that, I can't help but listen and laugh. And the reason for that is because when I listen to those things that they're speaking about, these expert analysts, I laugh because I think to myself that you've only figured this out now. I've been hearing this in Hazur's Friday sermons for the last 10 years. And Hazur has already been telling us that this is the things that we should do if we want to save our children from going astray. So the things that I'm hearing now on the radio or on a news program are not new to me. I have literally been hearing this guidance from Hazur for the last 10 years in his Friday sermons and in his addresses. So Hazur is so gifted and so blessed from Allah the Almighty, because Allah the Almighty has chosen him, that he is able through his wisdom to pick up on relevant issues which relate to us in this day and age, and he is able to give us guidance before anybody else even catches wind of those issues. And he tells us how we should act and how we should protect ourselves and how we should protect our future generations and how we should ensure that we are able to reform ourselves and improve ourselves and protect ourselves morally and spiritually. So we should really listen to Hazur and pay attention to the things that he tells us and develop a closer relationship with him. Write to Hazur on a regular basis so that we can develop a closer relationship with him. And those people that do write to Hazur regularly and do develop a relationship with Hazur, they see the fruits of that in their lives. They see how their faith is strengthened. They see how all of their difficulties and challenges are removed. And they see how every day brings them closer to Allah the Almighty through their relationship with Huzur Anwar. So never take this blessing for granted. May we never take the blessings of Khilafat for granted, and may we always be those who follow in the footsteps of Huzur, and who, as the Holy Prophet has mentioned, that Al-Imamu Junnatun, that a leader is like a shield. If we stand behind Huzur, Huzur, who is a shield for us, will protect us from all of the things that can harm us in this day and age. And so that's why we should always remember that Khilafat is the only way that we can attain salvation in this day and age. Through Khilafat, we are blessed with a direct relationship with Allah the Almighty. So may Allah the Almighty always allow us to remember that Khilafat makes us stronger. It makes us stronger as a community, and it makes us stronger as an individual. But the condition is that we obey the Khalifa of the time. Obedience. This is the one quality which all believers must have. If we are obedient to the Khalifa, it is only then that we will really, truly reap the blessings of Khilafat. May Allah the Almighty enable us all to do so. Ameen. Allahumma ameen.